Hello, good morning, fam. If you are new, my name is MagdalineJanet. Welcome to the fam. Please don't forget to like and subscribe because we're always here. Legit, always here, hanging out, reviewing makeup, having a good time. And of course, welcome back to my oldies but goodies. So, I'm so excited. Hold on, let me put some lip balm on. I'm looking a little crusty. I used this palette from Milani for my eyes, and I'm like, this one's a good one. I forget about it. I did 5 looks with it a while back, but you know how you just use something you haven't used in a long time? Okay, if NYX just released a bunch of makeup, and one of those products is this Plump Right Back Primer Serum with electrolytes. Literally, it says this is the first of its kind. It has hyaluronic acid, vitamin E, provitamin B5, magnesium, and potassium. It is a gripping serum makeup primer. I'm like low-key low on primers. I use them all the time because I do have very oily skin. I have big pores. And anytime I see serum, anything, I'm all on it. I love a good serum. A lot of times those have moisturizing effects, but it's not greasy and it's not heavy. It will absorb into the skin. And that's what we need, especially if you have oily skin. We can use hydrating products, but they have to be very specific and not goopy, not thick, not gonna make you look gastada at the end of the day and super oily and greasy. You know what I'm saying? So this retails for $17. I bought mine on NYX website, but it's also available on Ulta's website. This is a primer that moisturizes, plumps the skin. It's a gripping primer. Dang, it has all kinds of good stuff. Let's see. Why am I shaking it? Let me show you the bottle. It's bright yellow. You are never going to lose it in your makeup. And it's 1 ounce. It's a little pricey though. It's 17 bucks. NYX, I feel like, is a little pricey. Okay, so here we go. Oh, it is here. Let me turn the lights off so you can see. It's like a gel-like. It's not completely clear. It's like a frosted. Don't mind my ashy hands, but you see how that looks? It's not completely clear. I did my moisturizer sunscreen maybe about 30 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. It's not sticky. Oh, it's fragrant. Ooh, that's like a perfumey scent, but it has that thick serum feel. Feels very nice on the skin, very hydrating. It feels like the Milk Makeup Primer, but just not as, it's just not as sticky. Oh, but it gets tacky. Okay. It dries down pretty quick. It's not drying your skin down. It's drying to where it's gonna grab the foundation. And with primer, you always want to let it sit on the skin. Let it absorb for about a minute or two. If it's like a serum or like a hydrating or sticky primer, I would say give it like a minute or two just so it doesn't completely dry down and it still has that tacky effect. But this one has a slight tackiness to it. So, okay, cool. So in the meantime, let's talk about the foundations we're going to use. I really want to use a matte foundation so you guys can see how moisturized the skin looks, or if like the matte foundation just completely takes over. Because we do have oily skin, if we're using a hydrating primer, it's best for us to use something a little bit more on the matte side. Not completely matte, but not hydrating, because we will look very greasy at the end of the day using a hydrating primer and a hydrating foundation, or like a radiant foundation. And a girl, been there, done that, and I'm just like, ooh. So we're gonna mix both of these together. So let's shake them up. In the e.l.f. Satin Finish in the shade 330 Cashew, and then the Maybelline Matte and Poreless in the shade 310 Sun Beige. I love to mix foundations. Like, it's the best. You'll get like the best texture. So let's start. I'm just gonna speed this up because you've seen me apply foundation 100 times. I've been blending my foundation for 3 years, but look at this radiance coming through. You guys, these are both pretty matte foundations. This one says it's a satin finish, but it's more matte. But look at this radiance. Let me show you with the lights turned off. So yeah, this is for sure a radiant, hydrating serum primer, because girl, ooh. Okay, cool. So what I usually do is anytime I place my foundation on, I usually let my foundation sit on bare skin like this for about 10 to 20 minutes so you can see how it dries down. And it usually helps with longevity, especially because we're using a hydrating primer. I do want to show you how this matte foundation dries down without any powders or anything. So BRB. Before I go and I forget, it's 7:17. I legit was so restless these last 20 minutes. I didn't know what to do because everything was done. So it is 7:38 to be exact. It's been 20 minutes. You guys, look at this skin. The radiance, but I was looking at it and throughout these 20 minutes, it got blurry. It became very smooth, very nice. Like, I was not expecting that. You see, like, you can't see my pores. I have big pores. You just can't see any texture. And it's, I mean, it could be a mix of both, like the foundation and the primer, but a lot of times primer do play a big role in how the foundation's really gonna settle into the skin, especially when we haven't powdered yet. So damn. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just off camera put some concealer. I'll be back on to set my face with powder. Now I'm gonna go in with this Dermablend setting powder and my powder puff. I'm gonna work this powder in to really set the skin, and so our foundation or primer doesn't move all day. To show you how the skin looks powdered down. And we still, I feel like I still see like the hydrating effects a little bit, not as much because we're powdered down, but it's okay. We do have oily skin. Skin will warm up, you know, ASAP. So what I'm gonna do is finish up the face. I'll be back. I just realized I should have showed you guys doing my makeup, but I didn't. So I'll show you the products. I'm using the Nabla bronzer, this Maybelline blush in pink rose, and then of course my favorite setting spray, and then this Maybelline mascara. You guys, it's so bomb. And my lip is the Stone Ultimate lipstick and the Morphe lip liner. I'll link everything down below so you guys can check it out. I always like to mix drugstore and high-end just because why not, you know? I think that's like a good balance. Okay, talking about balance, look at this skin. This skin is looking real balanced. Wait, hold on. My blush is jacked. Sometimes I'm rushing because I have to log into work, so I need to hurry up. And then, you know, I look a little janky. But you guys, this is how the skin looks. Whoo! It looks bomb. Like, I look hydrated, like I drank my water, like I had my electrolytes, like I had my Pedialyte. Okay, I do drink Pedialyte, by the way. So look at, you see this radiance up in here? And I use all matte products. You guys saw how much powder I used. I usually wear a lot of powder because I do have oily skin. We're gonna do an all-day wear test. You guys know how I do. I always show you how things really work. I'm just really surprised how just hydrated we look. A lot of times when like things say electrolytes, this, that, the next, and I'm just like, is it really? But maybe it is. But we have to see how it works out. Wouldn't be good if we look gastadas and we look run down at the end of the day, because that's just not the vibe, you know? So let's just jump in front of the window so you guys can see how everything looks, and I'll see you later. Bye. Hey fam, so I had to take the turtleneck off because it just wasn't helping my thumbnail game at all. But here we are in front of the window. Look at the skin. Look at the hydration here. I used no highlight. Everything was powders and matte, so you guys can see how the skin looks. I have texture here, but that's normal. We all have it. But yeah, look, like this hydration. Oh, skin looks good. But is it the primer? Do we think it's a primer? Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. Okay, bye. Hello, I'm back. Oh wow, it's 7:30. I thought it was later. It's 7:30. We've had the primer on for about 12 hours, but of course, before we get started, I always like to show you how the skin was looking at around 3 o'clock midday in golden hour. And at this point, the skin was looking very hydrated, very glowy, a little bit oily, I will say, but overall, looked pretty good. And here we are now, many hours later, and welcome to Oily Skin YouTube, because we're oily, but I feel like we're more glowy and more hydrated than gastada oily, like the makeup is melting. Because you see, primer is still on, This one is patchy because I did wear my mask today for like about 2 hours. I couldn't take it off. And I also did a lip swatching video, so that's why my lips are looking real rough. Hold on, we need some more of this. I do want to show you the skin. See that hydrated look we have? I mean, this is plain oils, we know that. But let me get closer so you can see. You see a little bit of texture, but I feel like the texture, you see it, but it is blurred at the same time. It's not like straight up very, very textury, and it doesn't complement the skin. So this is definitely a true hydrating serum primer. It always looked very glowy, very plumped. That's what my boo said. I'm like, how does my skin look? Like, do I look oily? Do I look wet? And he says, you look plumped. So according to Boo, the skin looks plumped, and that's a good thing because this is what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to give you a very hydrated. I drank my Pedialyte and water all day long, and I actually did. I drank my water. It does exactly what it says it's going to do. It is a gripping primer, it is a hydrating primer, and it just feels so good on your skin. I would even probably wear this with nothing on because it just gives you that plumped, that very hydrated look. We love a hydrated look. Hydrating and moisturizing is very different from oily and like goopy. You know what I mean? Let's tap the carita. You see, like, we're just soaking up like the oils right in the T-zone. And this is when you really know. Look, I even changed my hair because I didn't like how my hair was looking in the morning. So definitely recommend it. I'm so happy this came out. It just worked out so well. Let me know your thoughts on this. Have you tried it out? Have you tried out any of NYX new drops? Let me know your thoughts. I think this is it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and spending a little bit of your day with me. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, click the button right there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.